So guys, got some bad news. We just had our first solar system failure. It's a bit annoying. This one is less than 7 months old and it's completely dead. Let me show you. This is our lovely Handero inverter. We've got 265 volts DC coming in here, just underneath here, this cable here. So we know that the solar panels are working fine, but this inverter is absolutely dead as a dead thing. Now we've got a technician turning up shortly, so fingers crossed. I suspect he's going to have to change out the inverter. There is a very slight, if you sort of smell the unit itself, you get that sort of burnt component smell coming out. So I think the inverter's died basically. It should still be under guarantee. I hope so, because these inverters are like 25,000 Thai baht. It's quite a lot of money. I hope we don't have to pay for it. Fingers crossed. I'll give you an update when the technician gets here. Take care. Guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on the inverter. As expected, the inverter is kaput. It's no longer working. As you can see, there's a nice space where it should have been. So that's gone away for repair. It's gone back to the manufacturers. I've been told it's going to be at least a week, might even be 2 weeks. So I'll keep you updated as to where we are with that one. It's going to be interesting. It should be under guarantee. Let's see. Hi guys, about 3 weeks ago, maybe nearly 4 now, our premium inverter on our third solar system failed. This is the first time we've had a failure at all of any solar system, and it's really a little bit disappointing that the inverter's, you know, top of the line. It's only 6 months old, 8 months old, something like that. Not old at all, less than a year. And it absolutely died 100%. So it's been sent away to the repairers. It had to be taken away and repaired. We've now got it back and it's all fixed and working, but I want to share with you why it failed. So I really wanted to share with you guys 4 things that can absolutely destroy your equipment, especially electronic equipment in Thailand. It's an absolute nightmare if you don't get this right. We've had at least 3 different bits of equipment fail in the last 2 years, and I've had to replace them each time. So as you can see, these are the photos from the repairer, and there's several areas. This is probably the worst one, where you see blackened bits. This has actually blown a hole in the motherboard, so something has clearly shorted this out and caused a lot of damage to the point it's not repairable. So that's the reason they had to change the motherboard, and here is one of the reasons why. Now there's a bit more damage here as well on the motherboard, so there's not even in one place, multiple places. And if you look here, you can clearly see actually there's another little lizard in here. So the multiple lizards, multiple geckos, caused really bad damage to this motherboard, to the point where they couldn't repair it. They had to replace the whole motherboard, as they'd basically blown holes in it. And you need to be aware of these, but otherwise you're going to be losing equipment left, right and centre. This is really important. So guys, there's 3 different things that can really damage your equipment that you need to be aware of. We've had 3 different failures so far, and there's one more as well which I'll throw in at the end. You might be surprised, but the first bit of equipment to fail was this. This is our pump controller for our borehole. And you can actually see in the bottom here, there's one of the reasons why. I'll show you some pictures of that. That was the first one that failed for us, and that was really quite a shocker for me. So as you can see here guys, we opened up the borehole pump controller module, and it was absolutely caked in ant eggs, ant poo, soil, everything that they use for bedding. Now bearing in mind these are power transistors and they take quite a bit of current. This is all damp, conductive earth around these. So even though the module seemed to work, in the end we just replaced it as a precaution anyway. It wasn't a huge amount of money, it was about 3,500 Thai baht. We decided to replace it completely because it became unreliable and would sort of overheat randomly. So the ants basically trashed it. The second system to fail for us was also shocked me as well, but this was the system that failed. This is the outdoor unit for our aircon, and I've got some great pictures for that. Let me show you the pictures. Now I really wasn't expecting this when I opened up the outdoor AC unit to see what the problem was. There's a very dead snake sat on the motherboard, and there's a little black patch there on the right, which I'll mark up, but it blew a massive hole in the motherboard, similar to what the Gecko did with the inverter. We tried to get it repaired, but in the end we had to replace the whole AC system, and that cost us around 23,000 Thai baht. So guys, there's quite a few things that you can do, sort of best practice, to stop these things, these little critters, damaging your equipment. The most obvious thing is to seal up the entrances, any entrances they got, whether through its cable glands, air vents, that kind of thing. But you also have to allow good airflow, because these units are operating in temperatures sometimes up to 45 degrees. So you need to try and keep the airflow good as well, and that's not always easy. The other thing you can do is add some deterrents which smell normally really badly to try and discourage them, and here you can see little naphtha balls. I'll talk about those in a minute. So now that you've seen what can really trash your equipment, there's a couple of things that you can use to really discourage those insects or lizards or snakes or whatever. The first one is these naphthalene balls. They're like mothballs, I think they used to be called in the past, and that really does help. That really does help. Oh, they're pretty strong actually. That really helps. It stops the ants, and it really does discourage the lizards. The other thing you can use, and it works on snakes as well, by the way, the other thing you can use is this lizard repellent spray. I've used this now. I know if you spray it on or near lizards, they run for it, and I'm not sure how effective it is long term, how long it lasts. It definitely works short term, so bear that in mind. Do use this stuff, guys, because it could save you an absolute fortune in repair bills, as we are finding out. A little bit rarer, but can happen quite a lot here, especially when near two mountains or between two mountains. Let me show you. We've just had this installed recently, and I installed this because the inverter failed, and this is just a precaution to stop that happening. Here it is. I don't know if you can see that. Down to a nice 35mm cable into the earth. As ever, guys, we don't have all the answers, but we're trying to build something that makes sense. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. We'll talk to you next time.